Hello everyone and welcome. It is the end of the month of April and we've got some pickups to start talking about today. There's not a whole lot here. There's some Switch games as usual as stuff continues to come out that I've been looking at for a long time, but not a lot of, odds and ends, bullshit, stuff like that because there's a lot going on. There's actually, before we even really start talking about stuff, I don't have Kirby with me because I did actually get Kirby and beat it already, but I lent it to a friend now. So that's one thing. And then I have some PC games, and maybe I'll talk about it when we get there, but there's another game that I've already packed, and I was like, oh yeah, I should have left that out, but I didn't. Before we get into talk about Switch stuff, this is a 3DS game that just came out. This is Andro Dunos 2 on physical from VGNY Soft Games as we continue the streak of making sure to pick up all that stuff. I don't know if I'm really committed to sticking with, every single VGNY Soft game, but right now they're putting out a lot of the stuff either coming out or coming up soon that I'm really excited about. I'm still really excited to get Earth Atlantis and Andro Dunos 2. How could I not? This is a 3DS shoot 'em up that is a sequel to an old Neo Geo shoot 'em up. That's not Alpha Mission, so definitely something that I really wanted to get. I was saying oh yeah, the last 3DS game. Also, how do I not want to get that? Well, probably not even going to be the last 3DS physical because somebody else is coming out with a game. But that being said, I'm really excited to have that. Now we're going to start with the Switch stuff, which focuses largely on one really important thing. It has been a year in the making for me. This is just the cartridge part. Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 1. There it is. It looks amazing. I hate to say it was worth the wait because I don't really think I should have had to wait a year for it. But this, at least I'm happy with the product because this looks and is all around just a fantastic package. Let's take a look at it. This is the only part I left out because I didn't want to have to open this every time I wanted to get the cartridge. But there is a proper manual for the standard edition inside the regular Switch case. But slip cover here, and then I'm going to put that way down over there so they don't crinkle it or get anything on top of it. Alright, then we got inside here basically the same, and then this is a little cardboard latch like you would have on a regular American NGPC box that I'm always worried I'm going to tear it when I do that because it's sort of latches in there, you see. Alright, and then inside we have the gatefold here. There's a poster in here that is really snug in here tight, so I don't actually want to pull it out, but it is a nice two-sided poster that will be staying in this box, not coming out, no way. And then we've got the steelbook, very nice steelbook with logos for all the games on it right there. Nothing much inside other than the fact that the background is the two background colors for the Neo Geo Pocket Color home screen. So that's kind of nice. And then I actually am disappointed in myself that I haven't finished reading this cover to cover. But Jeremy Parrish, who does NES Works and all that, and is now working very closely with Limited Run on all their properly bound history books. This is a retrospective on all 10 games included. It really has everything that you could ask for with these games. So let's take, for example, Fatal Fury First Contact. We have genre, release date, stats, and all that. You got a quick summary, more proper summary here. Yeah, this is 4 pages of proper summary of the game. This is every game, especially the fighting games, have this roster page here. And then what I think is even cooler, these are all also in the game software as well. These are all scans. And then we have a look at it's sort of console equivalent, if you want to call it that. So we have Fatal Fury First Contact would have released around the same time and had a similar goal for the MVS was Real Bout Fatal Fury 2: The Newcomers. I think that's the full title. I think The Newcomers is part of the title, right? Yeah. So it has also a quick history on that game. Where I take my gripes with the Neo Geo Pocket Color selection is really that they've shown their hand already. I mean, this has been great. I played some of the fighting games. I played some golf. Tried a little bit of Metal Slug, but I mean, the thing about it is I don't know where they're going to go with a Volume 2. Because I love the system. I have games for it. I have Sonic and stuff. I still have my regular system because I think it's such an amazing piece of hardware. But with 6 fighting games on this, they've kind of already done most of what you'd want out of it. I was brainstorming games, and a lot of the games that they would make for a Selection 2, as it's implied, I'm kind of like, would they really bother? There's sports games like Baseball Stars and Pocket Tennis and Neo Geo Cup. That would be great, but they only did one for this one because I feel like they didn't want to make even more than one. And then you have stuff like Fastalight, I think is a really important one to do, but they've kind of covered everything for fighting games, which would be weird to have them do a version 2 and to put Neo Geo on a game and not have any fighting games, but they've done them all. So we'll see where that goes, but this is a fantastic collection. Any version of this game, of this software collection that you can get, I highly recommend it because the games of the Neo Geo Pocket Color are so good, and what they've done with the game itself, like all the presentation options are really, really nice. I was so impressed with everything about this package, other than the wait times. Yeah. Moving on to other Switch games. What came out this... Oh, MLB The Show 22, as promised. I said I was going to get it. I've already done a March to October as the Red Sox. It was a heartbreaking divisional round loss to the Blue Jays. But MLB The Show is as good as ever. It runs really well on the Switch. It slows down in replays and other presentation stuff, but in actual gameplay it runs perfectly. So really no complaints here. Very good. I really wanted to get this on launch day to support the idea that I will buy these if you make them. I will, at the very least, consider buying a Madden if it comes out and you don't fuck it up completely. But MLB The Show is as good as you really get for major sports titles as far as reliability. I had a lot of faith in the fact that they weren't going to mess it up. Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero. This went on sale. It was a weird, really cheap sale for like $20 on Amazon. And it took like 3 weeks for it to get here because I think a lot of people jumped on it. But $20 is about how much I would pay to see if I like Subnautica. I don't know if I'm going to. But the sort of like... I really like the idea of games with all these sort of underwater or space or other planets or anything like that. Exploration and seeing what's out there, like a nature exploration or whatever you want to refer to. Nope, I had it. But yeah, that's essentially what Subnautica has a lot of, but it also has a lot of crafting and stuff. And I don't know how much it slows it down. I know it's a big streaming game, which kind of makes me say, is it something I'm really going to like, or is it sort of baity, like getting a lot of like kids and stuff to watch it? I don't know. I know a lot of kids like it. We'll see. I'll pop it in one day and see if I like the gameplay cycle more or less. I finally bit the bullet here on Skyward Sword HD. One of the only times I've ever been able to look at a Zelda game and say I did not like it was the original Skyward Sword for the Wii, and it had nothing really to do with the motion control, so that's why I couldn't get that excited about a remake. But it went on sale on Best Buy for like $30, and I said, I'll give it another shot for $30. If not, at the end of the day, you'll probably be able to sell this down the line for, what I paid for it, so... yeah, I'll take the $30 risk and see if I actually enjoy this game or not. Time will tell. I don't know. I'm not like prioritizing getting to it. I'm not going to do anything like that. I've got other Zelda games that I'm excited about to play that I haven't played. So I don't know when I'll play it, but $30. You can't. That's like you've got to kind of scale stuff with how much you'll pay for things like that. And like $30 is like the low end of like that's what I'll pay for a low end Zelda game. $30. I paid $10 for Spirit Tracks on the Wii U Virtual Console before it goes away because Spirit Tracks, I've not heard that many good things about it in the scheme of Zelda things. We've got Jackbox Party Pack 7. I love the Jackbox games, but I haven't played 4, 5, or 6, and I haven't played any in a long time. But this was like $15 on Amazon for the Switch, and like they haven't had a physical for any of them since the first one. So if you put them out on a physical, I'm gonna grab it just to have more of these around to have options for. So let you know how that goes when I finally pop this one in a social setting. Was waiting for a sale on this one, as I knew it would go down to about $20, and it did. Nickelodeon AllStar Brawl. I've like literally only played like 2 matches of this because I'm excited to try a fighting game, Smash Brothers, that is Nickelodeon. The controls are weird. I 2 matches in, I could not get the controls because there's no push up on the analog stick to jump. It has to be a button, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get used to that. But that's like my only experience with it so far, and it might trip me up before I get like off the starting line if I continue to play this. So I'll let you know how that goes. But presentation-wise, it looks cool and everything. And then Neo: The World Ends With You. I actually, believe it or not, played the original World Ends With You on the DS, and I remember really liking it. It was a game that I had not played a lot of games of that style as a kid, and looking back on it, I still have not seen a lot of games that do exactly what this game does. So this is, I'm not even really sure. I think it's a remake, or it's a remake and sequel or something like that. I'm not even that clear on what this is, but I know that this game will probably hold its value really, really well. So I think we were in Best Buy and my partner was there, and if nothing else, I kind of bought this for them because she's been playing it and she's really enjoying it. So I kind of was like, listen, even if I don't play it, like, you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I'm down to pay $30 for it, I think it was. It's not bad. We got PC games. Like, I actually forgot to leave one of them out that I picked up this month. I got Icewind Dale II at Savers. It was really nice in its cardboard box and everything, and I've already packed it up. So that's a thing. And then I have... These are all Savers pickups, by the way. I almost, like... This is the only type of thing that I really look at trying to get at Savers. Disciples Sacred Lands. This is the sequel, Disciples 2 Gold Edition. So this looked like a halfway serious game. I've heard of Disciples Sacred Lands, but I had to look it up to know that's what this was, and realize that it's not Disciples Gold 2, it's Disciples 2, and it's the Gold Edition because it's a PC game with all types of editions and stuff. And it's 4 discs. It's got all the game and expansion here in the double jewel. And it's a turn-based strategy game, but it's got decent reputation. So picking it up at Savers, definitely worth it. And this is just an upgrade, really. This is Age of Empires 3, which I already had. This is Age of Empires 3 Complete Collection, which has the War Chiefs and Asian something. The fuck is it called? It is called Asian Dynasties. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Age 3, Age War Chiefs, and Age 3 Asian Dynasties all in one set on all of the... Oh, it's right here. Fucking idiot. I was looking all over the place for it. It says right there. So yeah, just Age 3 but better. Alright, and then there's only a couple more things here. We got one GameCube game. I've finally filled out the GameCube collection of Mario Party, so I now have 4, 5, 6, 7. It was not a great time to be dropping $75 on a GameCube game, but I never see any Mario Parties anymore, ever. And 6 was the only one I didn't have, so I finally pulled the trigger on it when I saw it. And I've got all 4 of them. So I've got 1, 2, 3 for the 64, obviously. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have 9 because I've never played it and I have no real desire to do so. 10 in the big box for the Wii U. I don't think I have Advance. I have DS, both 3DS ones. All 3 3DS ones. I try to forget Top 100 exists. And both Switch ones. And we'll be playing Mario Party 2 later today. So stay tuned for that on Twitch. And then lastly, 3 PS2 games. This is just Ace Combat 4 and 5, which I was surprised that I did not have either of. They're very, very cheap, and they're very, very good. I've never played 5. So I've played 4 though, I actually had 4 as a kid growing up and did not understand a lick of the story or anything like that. And probably understood very little of the actual gameplay as well. But when I look back and I think of the fact that I really love Rogue Squadron, for one thing, and this isn't a space shooter, this isn't Star Wars, but like when it's just as good as these are supposed to be, there's no real reason for me to not have one when they don't really cost that much. So just to add to the collection, 4 and 5 for PS2. Like, Zero's not as cheap as these, so I might not get Zero. But 4 and 5, they're like $5 games, so. And then lastly, I just had to have it because it was so silly. Yanya Caballista City Skater. This is unfortunately just the game. It does not have the thing that it says it came with on the back originally, which is a fingerboard controller. My fingers are literally covering the fingerboard controller graphic. It is a little fingerboard that you put on the PS2 controller and use it to move the control sticks in a more intuitive way. But this looks very silly, and it wasn't too expensive because it didn't have the thing with it. But it looked ridiculous, and I had to have it. So, yeah, that does it. Switch games continue to come out, and that's mostly what we're focused on because we gotta not blow all our money on things. But that being said, Mario Party 2 coming up later. And then after that will be Harvest Moon. So the N64 quest, I've played through a lot of crap lately and been enjoying some really good stuff. Switch Sports came out today, and that'll be in next month's because I just don't have it on me yet. It went to work. Yeah, lots of good stuff coming out. Lots of stuff to keep me entertained even as I pack up all of my shit. So we'll see where we're at next month. And thanks for watching. Bye.